Hi, James. Yes, I can. Now, I'm going to give this a preface or a small sort of history thing from what I understand about tables for mobile and for Bootstrap, and I'll show you what is built into the Bootstrap framework to help with this. First of all, tables being tabulated data, in other words, top to bottom, left to right. In most cases, it's very important to have, if you have a table, maybe you have a header up here for each column, and then down one side you maybe have in that table sort of a description of what each thing is. It's often very important to keep those things relative to the position of whatever's in the box. In other words, if you were to rearrange the table so one thing was on top of the other, it doesn't always work or look so good. In your case, not so bad. It could probably work where you could just stack everything into one column or one row. Um, but first, let's take a look at what we can actually do here. On our Bootstrap website here, if we go to CSS and then we go to responsive utilities, we actually have available classes, okay? Oh, sorry, tables, not responsive. Let's go with tables and then responsive tables. Okay, so basically what we need to do is with a responsive table uh, is, and I want to make sure you're actually using a table here first. So you are using a table. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas, but if you want to stick with a table, there is a better solution for you that's already built into the Bootstrap system. It may be a little bit of copying and pasting, but heck, why not have a lesson and have some fun while we're at it, shall we? First of all, the responsive table. You need to wrap the table in a div class, like so, called table responsive. Then for the actual table tag, you need to just add the class of table. Then you're done. And what it will do if you do that, see if I can give you an example here of, where's my responsive table. Hopefully these will work if I shrink the window down here. Quotes, let's see if I can get to that. I lost it. Okay, here's what would happen. You see, your images here, okay. Do I not have a scroll bar here? Did that work? What's going on? Did you already do that? No, they're just hidden off the page there. The overflow is hidden on it or something. Okay, so in my example here, what would happen is a scroll bar would be added to the bottom of the table, so the user, right, and it might not even be a scroll bar. Usually on an iPhone, it's just a finger. You just have to, you slide back and forth so you can see all the bits and pieces. And this is a good example of what I was trying to talk about here, is in most tables, and I keep losing myself here, so forgive me. Okay, I'm back. Most tables have a heading of some sort up here and then something in the column over here. And obviously we want the table heading and the numbery thing over here to sort of intersect with this bit of information right there. So it's like you go over and you go down, and that's whatever bit of information is intersected is the variable. In your case, it would be a picture, right? But you don't really have a heading or a thing on the side, so you don't really need a table to do this. But that is why in Bootstrap, when you have a responsive table, it adds the back and forth option, okay? So that you can just slide back and forth with your finger, like so, because that way this information is still relative to the heading and to the sort of the number or the information on the left or the right side, depending on where you put it. Right, now, what would be a better solution for you? I would actually suggest that you I'm going to copy your code into a page, and I'm actually going to show you what I would do myself, and then you can say, no, that's a silly waste of time, or you can say, not a bad idea. We'll see how it works, and excuse my long, lengthy jabbering here. Aha, okay, yeah, you've got a nice setup here, which is what we're going to do is I'm just going to sort of show you what I would do anyways. Finding out where it's all starting out here, columns. Okay, I see it. It's starting to come together here. Screen, Go back to my reference point here. Sorry. We're looking for Kicker SC001. So I'm going to go back here. Oh, lots of kickers. Okay. Oh, CS. Actually, what I'll do is this here. This is the I'm trying to figure it out myself thing, so it's not even showing up in the page here. Oh, weird. Okay, well, because what you have here is for each row, if I click here, do my inspect with Firebug, it's going to tell me that you are using a table there, right? So that's a table, that's a table. Well, okay, so we got a sort of tables nested inside of tables there, which is, okay, yeah, that's what's going on here. Yeah, you got a bit of a nested table thing going on here. And I was going to suggest that you could actually replace table with div, and then you could replace the table rows and the table columns with column dash small dash 3, and that would give you a 4-column layout. But that's a bit of work too. So what I'm going to suggest then instead is just look for wherever you have a table, right? So our table starts way up here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do, to be honest with you? I would almost spend half an hour or so, just if I were you, and I could be way out of line here, but I would almost spend half an hour. I'm going to create a little snippet of code here for you to replace all these tables. You would have to copy the image in and do the text. Basically, it's rebuilding this for you here. But you'd have to manually copy the image in, and then the little snippet of text, you have to put that below. I'll give you one example, one row to work with, and you can just replace them with your own images. But I'm thinking this should probably, for your best solution, because you have so many, is actually replace it with the actual columns that are already available for you in Bootstrap instead of using a table. Then just get rid of all this stuff with the tables. Because tables are really best for, like I said, tabular data, meaning that you have like a heading and you have something down here and then you have stuff in the middle where you sort of intersect. That's what tables are really great for, displaying information or variables or data. They're currently, for mobile, they're not a great option for images with a text and a link below it. So I'm going to put the video on pause. I'm going to create some code for you and an example and sort of show you what I would suggest you do, and then you can think about that or use it. Okay, so I've sort of made a pretend thing here with 4. They're kind of bigger images than yours, but hey, we got to start somewhere. And you can have more in a row, obviously, than what we have here. But anyways, I've created something here. We have basically we're using instead of a table, we're going to use a row. Okay, and in that row, we're going to put 4 div containers, each with a class of column small 3. Now here's the fun part. We can do this if you want to have more, because I think you have room for more. We could go column small 2. Maybe we should do this instead. You know what? It might be easier for your visitors if you had your pictures take up more width of the page. We'll do that. Let me just save it, preview it, and see if we're getting closer to the size we want. Not so much, because I have images of 256. So I need smaller pictures. What's this one here? Save image as. Okay, I'll put that in the desktop. I'm going to use that picture there. Drag that puppy in here. Let me just do some fixing here. Hang on a sec. Okay, so that's the original size of the picture right here. Now what's happening is with your tables, it's actually it's being resized down even smaller. So okay, what we're going to do then is add another class. So we're going to add the class of image responsive. So give me a second. So we got this one here, site image, blah blah blah. Let's go after this one, do a class image responsive. Okay, let me fix this here, and there we go there. So now we have this image, although it's just one image. You see it now repeats like so across the page. Where were we with yours there? Where's your example right there? So I'm going to get rid of all the junk in between here. And yeah, there we go. So sort of here's what you have right now as an example, excuse me, right, and then we have this right here. Now, because I've used a p tag and you're in a table, you see that's the sort of how it stands out, but we already have a predefined style. Now if we had multiple copies of this row, which I'm going to do, and then you can, like I said, tell me to pound sand, or that's not going to work for you, or hey, it's a good idea, one of the two. Now we're going to take this div tag of row, boom, I'm going to hit save. I just want to see what it looks like more than anything else. Hit refresh. Oh, there we go. Now we got a full page, pictures, description underneath. You be the judge of what you like better. We have this sort of thing here where it only takes up a partial width of the page, or this here where the images are actually a little bit bigger. They take up a little bit more room. The description is down below, and it's in a styled sort of background box, and there you go. But what I would almost suggest is now just go in here, change the description, and I am going to link one of those descriptions just to see if it changes color, because it might actually do that, you know. This link here, we're going to hyperlink to a page just for fun. Save. Yeah, it's going to change the color to red, which is probably what we're looking for. Let's just see what it looks like. There it is. Yeah, so now it's got a nice red with a link there. So that would be, this is what you have now. This is what we could do with it. Boom, 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 where it looks a little bit more organized, but let's see what it does in the cool thing. There we go. On a mobile phone, here's what you get. Everything's stacked one on top of each other, and you don't ever, 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 ever have to worry about tables and things and scrolling and stuff like that. It's just going to line up nicely for you. Okay, so where do we go from here if you want to do that? I'm going to send you, what I'll do is, I'll just send you a copy of the page, this sitemap page if you want. I'll just rename it to, what are we calling here? Custom Silk Screen. I'll call this Custom Silk Screen Designs 2. Okay. File, save as, boom, 2. Save. I'm going to send you a copy of this page if you want to use it. And this is one of those things, now we've got everything in here, you can sort of, you know, it looks weird. You see how it doesn't actually stack up side by side in the page, and that's, I'm not sure why, but oh, probably because I didn't put a row of 12. You don't really need to, no need to have the extra code just in the design window. You work it top to bottom as opposed to, you know, having a layout like a table. But let me see if I can just change that. Okay, how about no? I'd have to go through and figure out some little tweaks or whatever to make it work as a, you know, where everything lines up. This way, just sort of, you can go top to bottom, and then you just keep adding images and descriptions until you run out of room, I guess, and then you could always add more. And what you would do is I put it in rows of excuse me, 6 per row, just so that it works better for mobile. And you can use it or not use it, totally up to you. But that's what I would do if I were you, because it's probably a better solution than going with tables.